I've seen houses in different markets being reduced in price. Builders slowing down, more and more apartment buildings coming up, and small businesses not able to pay their rents. What's happening? In this video, I will talk about the real estate market right now, what is happening and what could happen in 2023 according to experts, how to compare versus 2008, and more, so stay tuned. Hi there, welcome to your channel, The Foreigner in America, where I teach locals and foreigners everything related to money and personal finances, including investing in the markets, cryptos, real estate, and businesses. So if you're someone like myself who wants to achieve greater wealth in life, you don't settle for pennies but for Benjamins and loves money, please subscribe to this great channel and hit that bell so you miss any one of my weekly videos. Also check out my Instagram, TikTok, and my blog under The Foreigner in America. And I have a book, which I will leave a link below for you to check out. So without further ado, let's begin. A very strong correction in US home prices is on its way. So there are three financial crises that we have lived, and we have lots of scars that cannot be forgotten, like the one in 2000 and the one in 2008, practically dropping real estate values around a 40% average. 2023 will be ugly. There's no doubt about it. Why ugly? Well, it depends on where you stand right now. If you're a homeowner who has a fixed mortgage at 3 to 4% and are comfortable paying for it, has money in the bank, has a steady income, and has no plans on buying or selling real estate in the next 5 to 10 years, well, my friend, you are not affected by anything I'm gonna say, so you can go grab a beer and chill for the rest of this video and learn something valuable. US home prices rose 45%, mainly because of supply chain issues and lack of inventory. As interest rates approached 2.5%, everybody in this country was trying to buy a house. Also, companies wanted to buy all the houses in a neighborhood, raise prices, and then resell them just because they put a new coat of paint and a nicer entrance. It was a mess. To compare with 2008, prices were only up 30%. Now they're up 45%. So imagine how bloated they are. The reasons why the disaster happened were mainly due to bad decisions on lending practices. They were lending money to anyone who applied. Never mind if you had money to pay it off or not. Debt to income ratio, what is that? You could get a $500,000 home making only $40K. No problem. Then people also had the great idea of getting adjustable rate mortgages, where they could be paying one thing today and a very different thing next year. So when interest rates went up in 2006, prices began to cool off and people couldn't pay their mortgages anymore. So they started dumping properties. The banks and lenders couldn't get any worth from all these properties foreclosed. So that was the best time to get rich, since properties were on sale and you could acquire them at a fraction of the cost, and now they will be worth a lot of money. But builders were going crazy and there were a lot of inventory in the 2000s. So after the recession, there was no need for those houses. Builders pretty much stopped building with the 2008 crisis, and that led to the shortage we have today. What is happening today? Are the lending practices the same? No. They're being strict on your debt to income ratio and the amount for down payment. At current interest rates, which fluctuate between 6 and 7.5%, getting the average home of $430,000 with a 3% down will cost you a fortune that not many people can afford. And don't even get me started with a 15-year mortgage, which no one practically uses. I still don't understand why Dave Ramsey praises so much for it. If only 5% of Americans can afford a $430,000 home with a 15-year mortgage and a 20% down. Unless you are dual income or have a great job, there's no way in the planet you can afford that with a 20% down. But demand and supply is still a problem that is turning into a solution. Let me explain. If the supply of houses was unlimited today, the prices will be on the floor. You don't want that. You don't want your house to lose 40 or 50% of its value. But that's unlikely to happen since millennials, aged 26 to 41, are still demanding houses and the supply is not there. The discounts are only being seen in specific markets in San Diego and LA, in California, Boise, in Idaho, and Austin in Texas, just to name a few. For example, in Houston, less than 10% of homes are actually discounted, and the discount is minimal, like 3 to 5%. So the lack of inventory is protecting the real estate market, and it's making your house that you bought for $600K not worth $450 in a year. Be grateful for that. On the other hand, it's affecting people because they cannot afford to buy a house in the next 2 to 3 years. They're building apartments faster than they build anything else. I drive around and always see at least 10 to 20 new buildings, all for lease. That is such a great investment since people cannot buy a house, but they still want to live in a nice place with a pool, amenities, safety, concierge, etc. I don't understand how people live in a van or a bus. Really, it's just me, or I will feel trapped like a cat. Renting an apartment gives you one thing that a house will never give you: location. Some areas of the city are impossible to buy since houses are millions of dollars, but there's always an apartment building which you can get a small 600 square foot studio and still be in that area. 2008 crisis helped banks establish new rules that are helping us still today. They need to have more backup when lending, higher standards, rigorous checking for tax returns and income statements, more fixed rate mortgages, and higher quality loans. So when a lender turns you down for a loan, think what they're doing actually helps the economy. Many people working in the lending industry, mortgage industry, will be without a job next year as rates keep rising. The Fed will continue to raise rates and affect mortgages. If rates get to 10% ever, there will be no need to have millions of realtors and lenders in the industry. So it will shrink and only the best will survive. The loan to value ratio is 42%. It's on a 12-year low. So which means how much mortgage you have relative to the price of your home. This means people have more cushion in case of an emergency sale or a home equity loan. If you are in the market for a new home, I will recommend you wait for it to cool off even more. Like 12 more months will dictate many things in the real estate market. The Fed will hit the highest rate, mortgage interest will get to the highest, the inventory to the lowest, and people who lose their homes will bring new homes to the market at foreclosures. When all this happens, then you will have a clear idea of what is happening and where you stand. If by then the house you wanted is not discounted, well, it might never be. So you go ahead and buy. But buying now is almost a secure loss of equity for the next 12 months, unless you buy a heavily discounted property no one wants. Same if you're an investor and wants to add properties to its portfolio. Well, unless a property is discounted heavily and the rent is close to 1% of purchase price per month, don't rush and keep your money. Better things will come next year. If you're a homeowner and are happy and chilled, don't get a stupid home equity loan. Don't spend your cash on hand and live by the KISS standard for now. But remember, take control of your life and take control of your money. Thanks a lot for watching this video. If you enjoyed it and found useful information, give me a like, subscribe, and hit that bell so you don't miss any one of my 2 weekly videos as soon as they come out. So have a great day, don't lose any money, and I'll see you next time.